The name Boogie2988 is no surprise to anybody. Whether you've heard from him from his past or his present, you have at least heard this name at least one time in your life. Boogie2988 is considered one of the big OG original YouTubers in the YouTube platform. For many years, he has been considered an incredibly nice person, one of the nicest guys in the platform. Now, me myself, I didn't really consume much of his content, except for maybe once in a while I'll check up on some of his videos, but I wasn't a huge follower of this guy. But the times that I did watch some videos or saw something related to him, he seemed like a nice person enough. He seemed like a decent enough human being at least. Although over the past couple of years, when I kind of lost a lot of track on him and what he was doing and some of the stuff that he was kind of getting himself into, that's when things really started to get really weird, or at least kind of complicated with this guy. First of all, I know that what I'm about to talk about is only a mere fraction of what this guy has done and said, because Boogie, believe it or not, has said and done a lot of things. Some you could say are true, some of them are more rumors or they're more speculation or whatever you want to call it. But right now I'm gonna focus on the stuff that we have and we know. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. I'm going to be talking about the recent documentary that came out about Boogie, The Dark Sad Life of Boogie2988. It's already been commented by some big YouTubers, some of them like Penguin Zero / Moist Critical. The point is that this documentary has already been talked about for a while, or at least the time frame that the documentary came out. But I kind of wanted to give my own perspective into this. Something that I need to mention before I get started on talking about anything else. This documentary, before you even go watch this, I'll link it down in the description, okay? So if you want to watch it for yourself and form your own opinion on whatever, it's gonna be down there. I'm gonna have the link down there so you guys can watch it and support it, because it's actually a really well made documentary and it deserves more attention, honestly. Now, that being said, this documentary gets pretty graphic. When I mean it gets pretty graphic, I mean that it talks about a lot of sensitive topics. It talks about a lot of things that might seem uncomfortable to some people. I'm just warning you, because this documentary is not very PG in the sense that it's going to try to avoid certain topics or try to replace certain words to make it more appealing to a broader audience. No, this documentary is pretty graphic with what it's trying to talk about, or what it's trying to say at least, about this individual. But now that we got that out of the way, talking about the documentary itself, like I said, the production level of this documentary is actually quite nice. I was really impressed with the level of production when it comes to audio, camera work. It's actually very nice to look at. It clearly was made with a lot of passion into it and with a lot of actual intrigue on this person's life, because this documentary really goes deep into Boogie's not only internet life, but also personal life. So that's kind of the first thing that I do want to mention, is that this documentary really focuses a lot, especially on Boogie's personal life, rather than his internet YouTube personality / kind of life, you know. That stuff is there, it is in the documentary, but it's more focused on Boogie as a person, not really his YouTube persona. It's more about him as an individual, which I actually appreciate it, because this shit does not pull any punches. This really puts a camera right in his face and really lets you look at this guy in the most fucking awful way possible. I mean, goddamn, I'll say this was really hard to watch. There were like at least 3 times that I had to pause this, because this documentary is so fucking depressing. It's so goddamn depressing that I was myself feeling depressed. I'm just here sitting watching this thing, just thinking to myself, goddamn, I kind of feel bad, but also don't feel that bad, honestly, because that's the whole thing about Boogie. That's the type of person that he is. He wants to make you feel bad for him. He wants to make you feel guilt for him. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for him. I mean, yeah, he's kind of dumb. Man, look at him. Nobody deserves this. And then you kind of start learning more and more about him. It's like, oh no, fuck this dude. And it's very clear that this documentary was filmed with a lot of passage of time. Like, the documentary was filmed in the span of months, so it feels like it's a documentary that's been pretty much in the making for almost a complete year. And it's interesting to see this timeline of all these different events that Boogie goes through in this documentary, and kind of learning more about his actual personality. It's interesting because you actually get to see what kind of an awful fucking person this guy is. There's a specific segment, pretty much almost at the beginning of the documentary, where Boogie talks about his I guess, sexual life after his divorce, where he pretty much just started spending most of his money in sex workers and just taking them out on nice dinners and buying them all these fancy clothes and taking them to Disney World and all that stuff, and then finally just doing what they gotta do. Boogie's whole attitude throughout this segment is like, well, I deserve to fuck hot women. I deserve to fuck supermodels. I deserve to be with gorgeous, beautiful women. And it's like, oh my god, he is truly fucking pathetic in that really creepy, disgusting, kind of misogynistic kind of way.
The rules are we're gonna go out and eat. We're gonna have dinner. Maybe we're gonna fuck. I deserve to go to Disneyland with a beautiful girl, right? I deserve to go to New York and explore Times Square with a beautiful girl. Right? Like, I deserve that, and I want that, and I've never had it.
Right after that, I believe so, there's another segment where he's playing Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons, I don't really remember what game they were playing, with his friends at his house, and then Boogie kind of brings up two of his friends to talk about, pretty much start bringing women and girlfriends and dates to these game nights, to say the least. And there's specifically one comment that Boogie says that really bugs the absolute shit out of me, where he says, well, we should start bringing women that aren't hookers.
When are we going to start bringing girlfriends around? Also, when are we going to start bringing girlfriends around that aren't hookers? Because that's all I've brought around for 5 years.
You know, because everybody here brings fucking sex workers, of course. Right after that, Boogie goes into a whole rant or to a whole conversation about the N-word just being a word, and even the director of the documentary is telling him, well, then say it. If it's only a word, just say it then. And Boogie is like, oh, well, I'm not gonna say it in front of the camera. And that's only a portion of the documentary, because the rest of this just gets harder and harder to watch. It gets real fucked up by the end. And what I mean by it gets fucked up, I mean that it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps escalating in terms of, well, this shit happened, well, this other shit happened, well, this happens now, and then this happened, and then he's doing this, and then he's doing that. It's a whole bunch of clusterfuck of a bunch of bad shit happening to this guy, and it's all his fault. Part of me, I want to feel bad. There's this sensitive side of me that really wants to feel bad for him. That's like, man, this fucking sucks, but also you did this! And the commentary that Boogie does for most of this documentary is just sad and depressing and just a fucking downer in every sense of the word. I mean, god damn, throughout this whole thing, Boogie is like, well, I'm just gonna die soon. Well, I really fucked up. I really messed up my entire life. Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. It was overwhelmingly fucking depressing. And the worst thing is that he knows what he's doing. Boogie is talking this way because he's trying to get sympathy from the audience. Damn, it infuriates me so much. It's really embarrassing, especially because this year has been filled with so many cases of YouTubers and content creators taking advantage of their audience and the platform that they were giving. And it's just really infuriating because you see these people, these individuals that don't deserve this platform, that don't deserve the community that they have, that they've been pretty much taking for granted their audience, and it just pisses me off. It really, really does. It also goes a bit into his new relationship with his recent girlfriend, which is just weird and creepy in and of its own, but I'm not gonna talk about it here. I want you guys to watch the documentary for yourselves, to form your own opinion, and to just really look at a very well made documentary. The production level of this is very good. It's impressive, but also it's just an interesting watch to learn about this individual and all of his things, to say the least. Again, part of me feels bad, but also I don't feel bad because Boogie is not a good person. He has proven time and time again that he's a really shitty person. I'm somebody that believes that people can grow and change, that people can fuck up and people can get up and improve and get better as people. I believe in that. I believe people can truly change. At least I believe most people can change. But I do believe that it's too fucking late for Boogie. Maybe. I don't know, honestly. He might surprise me. But right now, it really doesn't seem like he wants to help himself, so I'm not even gonna sit here to pretend that there's any hope for him. Hope I'm proven wrong. I always hope to be proven wrong with these things, but who fucking knows by this point. But thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'll leave the documentary in the description and in the comments as well, so you can watch the documentary for yourselves and support it. Please do, it's very well made. And if you have watched the documentary, what do you think about it in terms of the production and all that stuff, and just in general, what do you think about Boogie and everything about him and all these things that have come out about him? I've already said it myself. I don't think Boogie's a good person. In fact, I think he's a pretty awful person. But what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think. And like always, good day, good night, and stay safe.